Hello friends and welcome into NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey, back again with some more NFL draft videos. This one on some NFL draft risers, but the bosses here, they don't like me doing all this draft stuff, so we got to show them that you guys want it. So if you do, just head down to the comment section, type yes for me. You can do it multiple times. Let's show the boss here that you guys do want NFL draft coverage, and stay tuned because I got 15 draft risers coming up right now. The biggest one here, it's not a huge surprise. It is Joe Burrow. Now, we're going to go offense to defense here, but Burrow would have been number one if we were ranking them. He has gone from, maybe he claws his way into round 3. He's probably an early day 3 type of player based on last year. He has skyrocketed. His play and production have been incredible. Just look at the numbers. Now, numbers are not everything in scouting. Don't get me wrong there. But they do pretty much correlate exactly to what we've seen on the field in terms of the film. Burrow has been that guy for LSU. A huge step forward. He's been accurate. He's made a ton of plays every single game. I have been incredibly impressed by Burrow so far. And I think he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. I mean, it's probably going to be the Bengals. Therefore, it is bungle for Burrow right now. And if it's not, it's going to be a team who would probably need a quarterback. Now, maybe something weird happens where like the Redskins jump in, but maybe they trade the pick. With Tua banged up, I think Burrow has to be the number 1 overall pick to a team like the Bengals. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Another quarterback riser, Jalen Hurts, and maybe we should have seen this one coming a little bit more obviously because Lincoln Riley is a quarterback whisperer. He has done fantastic work with Kyler Murray, with Baker Mayfield, and now with Jalen Hurts. Now, I've still got some question marks about his game, in particular some tight window throws. I don't think he's the same caliber of thrower that Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray were, but he should definitely be at least inside the top 50, given how badly teams need quarterback. And I think the NFL is finally starting to come around on guys who can run with their legs, especially if you can get them in the late first, early second. So should Jalen Hurts be a round 1 pick? Type 1 for yes, round 1. Type 2 for maybe round 2 or later. I have an idea for you. If you want to get weird with it, what if the Saints take Jalen Hurts and bust out a 2-quarterback system of Hurts and Taysom Hill? It's fun, right? I actually wouldn't hate it all that much either. I'd much rather have a guy like Hurts over Jake Fromm. At that point, he might not be a top 32 guy for me, but I'd be willing to take him in round 1 if I really need a quarterback. Now, many of you have asked, who's a quarterback sleeper this year? I haven't really had a great name for you. Here's one I'll throw out. Tyler Huntley, the quarterback at Utah right now. Now, he does not throw it a ton. That's shown there in his stats and his yards. However, he's been super efficient so far this year. He's taken a step forward in his game. I don't think he's going to be a franchise guy, but if you're looking for a day 3 sleeper, guy who can hang around the league for quite a while, I think Huntley actually makes a lot of sense. Maybe he's not Gardner Minshew. Maybe he can help a team out in a similar way. Producer Dylan is a big fan of this one. Chuba Hubbard out of Oklahoma State. He is just 20 years old. Won't turn 21 till like June. And he has been one of the best backs in all of college football. The numbers don't lie in this case. That's pretty insane production out of Hubbard. Yes, it's against Big 12 defenses, but you don't put up those type of numbers by being bad at football. Hubbard has been super impressive to me. I think he could bring some really great values for a team on day 2. If the Miami Dolphins don't go, backfield early, they go offensive line instead, maybe you spend your 2nd-round pick on him. Now, it's a really strong RB class overall. Jonathan Taylor, ETN, DeAndre Swift. But Hubbard has impressed me enough that he is worthy of mentioning in this draft risers video. Of course, if you play fantasy football, you know a thing or two about having a back who can make some big plays for you. Maybe things haven't gone your way this year, though. Maybe you're second in points in your league and you're still in the playoffs, and totally not talking from experience there. But every week is a new week on FanDuel. It's a new chance to win money. Head over to FanDuel.com/chatsports. That gets you $5 free with your initial deposit. It's FanDuel.com/chatsports. Go play and win fantasy football today. Another back here I want to make note of is Najee Harris, because I think this might end up being a scenario where people are going to be like, oh, Najee Harris has always been great for Alabama. It's not actually the case. I know he's a former 5-star recruit and fits the, oh, look, another giant Alabama back who's going to bowl over people. Look at the production. And remember, a lot of Harris's big games last year, came when they were playing the bunch of the scrubs and he was, scrub team he was already in as a backup there. This year, though, way more production through the air. He has like a completely different back. He looks way more comfortable, and as a result, his vision has improved. That's going to get Najee Harris into the day 2, I think, at least consideration in the NFL draft. All right, another Alabama player. I promise I'm going to put all of them in there. But many of you have been like, well, what about Devonta Smith in my first-round mock drafts? I want to make it clear, he's awesome. Okay, let's be super clear on that Devonta Smith's play this year has been nothing short of incredible. What Smith has done is impressive. Jerry Jeudy, Devonta Smith, Henry Ruggs, they've all had fantastic years for Alabama. All of them are worthy of going in round 1. Jerry Jeudy is your athletic, route runner, gets open really easily. Devonta Smith barely drops passes, very well-rounded, has some speed too. Henry Ruggs, by the way, is your vertical, can absolutely fly deep threat. All 3 of these players are really, really good prospects. But which Bama prospect is the best? Let me know in the comments section. Type J for Jeudy, R for Ruggs, S for Smith. I don't even think there's that wrong of an answer here. I'm going to go with J for Jeudy. I want my guys to get open and be good athletes, and that fits Jerry Jeudy really, really well. Another receiver here is Devon Duvernay. Now, entering the year, maybe a late day 3 guy, really wasn't productive, and he's going to have more yards this year than he did his entire career at Texas. Let that sink in for a second. He has stepped up with Colin Johnson banged up. I think he's going to be a slot guy. He probably goes, on day 3, but I think that could be a steal for somebody who wants some speed at the position. All right, Arizona State's Brandon Aiyuk. Now, I'm going to jokingly call it Aiyuk because that's what Aiyuk does. He is a freak athlete after the catch. Former JUCO receiver, has made a bunch of big plays this year. I don't think he's as good as N'Keal Harry, but he's a great prospect in his own right. Hunter Bryant, he's next up here because I wanted to include a tight end. He has finally stayed healthy this year for Washington. That was the issue earlier on. If you want a move athletic type tight end, Bryant fits that mold really, really well. Now, the Washington passing attack has been a little inconsistent this year, but if you're looking for he's not the caliber player, but an Evan Ingram type, that's the move tight end mold. Bryant makes sense, maybe on day 2 early as well. All right, another Alabama player, Jedrick Wills Jr., the right tackle, has outplayed Alex Leatherwood this year, and that's saying something because Leatherwood is also pretty darn good at football. He's a 2-year starter now for Alabama at the right tackle position. Teams are in desperate need of O-line help. And I think Wills is different because a lot of these guys coming out, like Austin Jackson, for example, almost made this list, they're still pretty raw. They need time. I don't think that's the case. I think he can come in right now and be your starter. I like his fit, by the way, in particular with the Cleveland Browns. Now, we're going through my draft risers right now, but let me know in the comments, which player has surprised you the most? I mean this in a positive way because I intentionally didn't pick fallers because I wanted to stay positive. So let me know, which draft-eligible player this year has impressed you the most in all of college football? A player whose season is already done is actually Marvin Wilson. He had a breakout year, though. His season was cut short because of a hand injury, so those numbers aren't as high as they would have or really should have been. But 44 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. He was a lot more disruptive. If he goes for, I don't think he gets into round 1. I think he could be a nice day 2 pick for a team in need of a defensive tackle. And speaking of defensive tackles, Neville Gallimore. This is going to be a guy you'll hear about leading up to the combine. He's a freak athlete. He weighs over 300 pounds. The report was he ran a 4.75 40. I'll round it up because even if you run a 4.9 and you're 300 pounds, that's pretty damn insane. Now, he plays nose guard for Oklahoma. That's why his numbers don't pop off the stat sheet, but he's disruptive, and his home is going to be as a 3 technique. So if you want a player who can, heck, maybe he's your 3 technique on rundowns, and if you want to go with a 1 technique on passing downs, Gallimore makes a lot of sense for a team either back end of round 1 or more likely early on in round 2. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120 for a 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're just going to give you an extra $60 for free. Yeah, it's the single best betting deal out there. Chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120. 2 Utah players on this list. Wow, crazy, right? That's not even mentioning Leki Fotu, the defensive tackle. But Bradley Anae has taken a big step forward for this year. In the past, he had good production, but he just kind of looked like, a good effort guy. Didn't show the same juice. Kind of sounds like Michigan Edge last year. Wonder who that could be. But Anae has shown the growth in his production. I think that's a big factor there. Maybe he's not quite Chase Winovich, but I think he could have a similar type of path to the NFL. Now this one, haven't heard much about him. Himiko Rasheed. Now I know it looks like Hamilcar, but that's not how it's pronounced. It's pronounced Himiko Rasheed. Has been incredible this year for Oregon State. Normally, when a player leads the NCAA in tackles for loss and sacks, there's buzz around him, especially if he's only a junior. That's not what we've seen, though, for Rasheed. I have heard very little buzz about him, but he's balled out. 22 tackles for loss, 14 sacks. The concern is he's a little bit thin and long. Like, how does he fit as an edge? He's not really big enough to set the edge on rundowns. But if you can get to the quarterback, there is a place for you in the NFL. So watch out for more buzz around Rasheed going forward. But he went from 2.5 sacks to already 14 this year. That's pretty insane. All right, Antoine Winfield Jr. Yes, he is the son of Vikings great Antoine Winfield. Has had a very unique path to, I'll say, stardom in college football. He is a fourth-year sophomore because he got not one but 2 medical red shirts for injuries he suffered while with Minnesota. Now, he is a little bit on the undersized side. He's about 5'10", a little bit under 200, maybe 205, maybe bulk up. But he's a great playmaker. Look at his, 4 years of production, 10, 4, 4, and 10. Lots of pass breakups, tackles for loss, and then most importantly this year, 7 interceptions. If you make plays on the football, I want you on my team. And that's what Antoine Winfield can do. I don't know where he goes, but if he does go pro, he needs to be an early round draft pick in 2020. Before you go, be sure to stick around, hit the subscribe button that's about to pop up right here in just a second.